Hello and welcome to the Olde Guide, the podcast guide to the history and heritage of the towns and cities of England. Perhaps you're planning a trip to one of England's wonderful cities and you want to arrive informed and clued up and ready to explore the remnants of its past. Or maybe you're looking for a new appreciation of the town you live in. Either way, this podcast is for you. We'll be unearthing architectural heritage, touring the urban fabric and exploring the cultural contributions these cities have made to British society and beyond. Along the way, we'll be presenting the heritage as can be seen in our own time. We'll be exploring the UK, touring its cities, seeking out the less trodden paths to uncover how our cities came to be and why you should book a trip to these places to see for yourself. In this first episode, we'll be exploring how Coventry powered Britain through the industrial age, how it suffered some of the worst destruction of World War II, and then rose like a phoenix from the ashes, pioneering new forms of urban planning. Before we begin, Daniel, tell us a bit about yourself.
My name is Daniel Gooch, and I've spent my whole adult life travelling around England, learning about this country's urban environments. My academic background is in local history, but I'm also avid about sharing my enthusiasm with a wider audience and offering people a deeper appreciation of the places they visit and live in.
And my name is Liam McGrath. I work in the planning of transport, cities and housing, and I have a long-standing interest in how cities evolve. I also love travelling around, uncovering hidden gems. There's more about us on the website, but now let's explain for this first episode our plan for the podcast. We're going to present each city in 4 categories: art and culture, politics and war, science and industry, and urban landscape. And for extra fun over the series, because we do love a game, we will be scoring the historical influence in each of those categories for the town or city we've visited. So if we think it's had a big cultural influence around the world, we'll be giving it a high score out of 10. If we think it's given rise to great scientific, industrial or trade innovation, we'll be giving higher scores. And if we think the place is architecturally wonderful, beautiful and influential, we will give it higher scores. And we'll put these scores in a league table which we'll be compiling as we go through the series. And this is really just a bit of fun, and we hope that you, our listeners, can get involved in this, maybe challenge our scores. But there's one more aspect that we're considering. Daniel, can you explain this final element that we want to consider in our tour of the towns and cities?
Yes, as Liam has said, this podcast is all about uncovering hidden gems as well as deciphering the famous sites and stories. Now, we know that certain cities are going to score highly, but we want a leveller to give every place a fighting chance. And for that reason, we're rating towns and cities on how far they exceed our expectations going into the podcast, whether through their unique contribution to the world, how well their heritage is presented, or just how interesting their history is.
So we may have cities or towns that score very highly, but we kind of expected them to do well. So we'd expect places like York and Oxford and Bath to score highly in many areas. They're well-known, well-visited places that people love to visit, internationally renowned. But we're also interested in giving the towns that are less well-known or perhaps don't have such reputations a good chance in our league, because actually some of the most interesting stories we've found compiling the podcast have been the lesser-known stories. But if you like what you hear, you'll find the website companion to the podcast, theoldeguide.com, really useful. Here you can access a downloadable Google Maps guide showing the places we've found interesting and further thoughts and research on the towns that we just didn't have time to fit into the podcast. Please follow us on Twitter @theoldeguide and Instagram. And please, if you've enjoyed the podcast, leave a review on your podcast host.